So, Ohio's 11th congressional district is having a special election coming up in about 9 days. The seat had been vacated by Marcia Fudge, who took a position in the Biden administration as his Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. I would like today to talk about my favorite candidate and her opponent in the Democratic primaries. Both are African American women. My favorite candidate, her name is Nina Turner, and her opponent is Shontel Brown. First, let's talk about the endorsements that they have received by politicians. Nina Turner has received endorsements by progressives in the Senate, such as Bernie Sanders and Ed Markey. And the other endorsements from the House of Representatives include Ro Khanna, Ilhan Omar, AOC, Cori Bush, Rashida Tlaib, and Ted Lieu, all who are known as the core of the Progressive Caucus. Shontel Brown, on the other hand, has received endorsements from the likes of Hillary Clinton and Ted Deutsch. Ted Deutsch, who time and time again has voted in favor of condoning Israel's attacks on their Palestinian neighbors. He also opposed Biden's efforts to successfully withdraw troops from Afghanistan, a war which seemed to be endless, as our only goal was supposedly to decrease influence that the Taliban had on their country, when in reality, they've gained more control. That's not success. Now let's go into the issues. So Nina Turner has endorsed Medicare for All to provide everyone in America comprehensive health care coverage without premiums, deductibles, copays, or surprise bills through a Medicare for All system. It would also prevent drug companies and insurers from gouging patients for the medication that they need, and to quantify and eliminate healthcare disparities, as stated word for word on her page. She wants to expand public education, which would increase federal and state funding for early childhood education and child care, public schools, and educators. It would ensure the right of teachers and their unions to collectively bargain for better wages, benefits, and working conditions. And also, this is the hammer: free public college and to cancel student debt. She's straight up on progressive issues that everybody, or not everybody, but over 70% of Americans agree with. She is also for environmental justice by providing Americans with clean water, clean food, clean air for all. It would also create millions of good-paying jobs by reinventing our energy and transportation systems through a Green New Deal. It's a modern New Deal, which was incredibly popular and brought us out of the Great Depression through FDR's impact. In terms of economic justice, she wants to create a living minimum wage which would adjust for inflation. And she wants to, not word for word, but tax the fucking rich. Now, I've got Shontel Brown's website up here, and let me tell you, it seems very, very vague as to where she stands in terms of her priorities. The first thing that's listed is she wants an end to gun violence. Duh. Okay? But here's my thing with gun violence. Is there a lot of fucking gun owners, and the subject of gun control is very, very touchy. Very touchy. I think it's cost a lot of Democrats elections from their own voters. Definitely here in Texas with Beto O'Rourke and Texas Democrats. That'll lose Texas Democrats for sure. This is a gun-owning state. Now, Ohio's a very red state. It voted for Trump I'm pretty sure at a pretty high margin. So I don't think that gun control is a winning strategy. And then she talks about, in terms of healthcare, she's for a public option. Inefficient as fuck. We don't need a public option. We need to get rid of private health insurance companies and switch over to a single payer system where we know that we're getting something for our tax dollars. No wonder people hate paying fucking taxes, because our infrastructure gets a grade of D+. Our healthcare system costs us lives, and it's fucking ridiculously expensive. They'll charge you an arm and a leg for a must-have procedure. She wants to expand opportunity and end poverty. It's incredibly vague. She talks about decreasing the cost of pre-K. I think pre-K should be fucking free. Like I said, we pay taxes. We hardly see those taxes fucking go anywhere. Public college is, I think I'm going to be in the hole around 30 or around 40 to 50K once I graduate. That's not going to be fun to deal with. It's really for profit. I mean, free community college, I agree with. Nina Turner's for free public school, period. This is watered down shit. Chantel Brown is incredibly watered down, and I'm not even sure that she actually believes half the shit that she put in her page. Nina Turner's is incredibly decisive. You can tell exactly what she's for. Chantel Brown, she's a corporate Democrat. Everything she believes in is watered the fuck down and vague. She claims to support the principles in the Green New Deal, not the Green New Deal itself. Principles that will be thrown into, various bullshit packages, possibly through reconciliation. But it's all going to be watered down, and it's not going to be worth shit at the end of the day unless we go for an actual package that actually encompasses a vast majority of what the Green New Deal wants. She's a corporate Democrat. Can't say it. I say it time and time again. She's a watered down fucking Democrat. I mean, this one shows exactly how she would vote on the principles of a Green New Deal. She received money from a super PAC that was funded by the chairman of an oil and gas company. I'm sorry. I wish that we had serious campaign finance regulations so you couldn't pull this shit off. She's such a fucking joker. OpenSecrets.org is a website that I keep up with relatively frequently. It tracks campaign finance among our politicians and political candidates. Here's a headline on this special election, and it shows that things are heating up. $30,000 from 1,000 grassroots donors. That was her record fundraising hour. Her money's coming primarily from the people. She doesn't accept corporate PAC money. Chantel Brown does. Nina Turner, she's a fighter, and she's been endorsed by like-minded people, although I would argue that Nina Turner is stronger than some of those like-minded people. Corporate Democrats don't want her in Congress. They're going to have a lot to deal with whenever it comes to keeping up their corporate agenda. Man, I think that she's going to put a lot of fuel in the Progressive Caucus. That we're more likely to get some shit done with her in Congress. There's no question about it. Between these two people, one's corrupt, Nina isn't.